So, guys, today it's one of those days where we don't talk about the things that are important in our lives. We don't talk about the issues that are frustrating to us, that are depressing us, because this is what we do majority of the time. But today, this is just a political banter. This is political entertainment. So I don't want people coming to this platform and start insulting people because they are mad about things that have been said in this video. This is just a political entertainment, guys. So please, this is just political entertainment. So Zimasa was actually having a conversation with the ANC mouthpiece, aka ANC Youth League president, and Colin Malachi actually said something on this video, and I think this thing is actually going to land him in trouble. As much as I want this video to be a loose video, I think the supporters of Julius Malema are not going to appreciate Colin Malachi saying that he is a better president of the ANC Youth League than Julius Malema. I think many people are going to come for him. Just listen to how he actually phrases the fact that he is a better president of the ANC Youth League than Julius Malema. And me, guys, personally, I don't want to lie. I disagree with him. I fully disagree with him because the last time the ANC Youth League was actually a structure that people could actually respect was when Julius Malema was the president of the ANC Youth League. I mean, right now, if you could ask a random person on the street and say, who is the ANC Youth League president? I don't think majority of the people can actually tell you who is the ANC Youth League president. But that time when Malema was the president of the ANC Youth League, I'm telling you, the whole country actually knew about the ANC Youth League. But for some reason, Colin Malachi believes that no, he is better than Julius Malema, and he has actually surpassed Julius Malema.
I want to give you a little bit of context before I ask the question. I once sat with a minister, very long-standing minister, off the record, and we had a conversation in Cape Town around the same era around that Julius Malema was there. And one of the things that he said, which I think lends itself to what you are speaking about, is that she now you know it was a she said, we made a mistake with Julius because we were meant to send him to Cuba because he was too militant for where we were and for what we needed. Now, I didn't stop her. I wanted her to speak. Now, the conversation, you've now alluded to this, that many people make comparisons between you and Julius. Now, those people like that.
But to be honest, people are not making comparisons between Colin Malachi and Julius. Like, let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest for once. People are not making comparisons between Julius Malema and Colin Malachi. So I think they know that these are two individuals who didn't play in the same league. So there's no need for people to actually compare these people, as much as they were both the president of the ANC Youth League. But in terms of the impact, in terms of the popularity, in terms of the things that they were doing at their time, people don't see a need to actually compare these two guys. People don't see a need to compare these two guys. So let's be honest. How many people do you think are going around comparing Colin Malachi and Julius Malema? I have never had a conversation where these two people are actually compared. This is the first conversation that these two people are actually compared. But in the streets, when you speak with the people, when you speak with the average people, when I speak with my friends, we don't compare Colin Malachi with Julius Malema. We don't do that. We don't do that because we understand where these people are. Because right now, you look at Colin Malachi, you look at the impact of Colin Malachi, you look at his voice and how loud his voice is. Comparing it to Julius Malema is day and night, basically. It's day and night. So many people are not doing that.
We were meant to send him to Cuba because he was too militant for where we were and for what we needed. Now, I didn't stop her. I wanted her to speak. Now, the conversation, you've now alluded to this, that many people make comparisons between you and Julius. Now, those people, like that minister that I spoke to, still exist within the ANC structures. They've not left. There are still people who feel that the youth must be under their thumb, must only say things that align to what and how they see the world. But particularly people give comparisons of you to Julius. Now, I want you to speak on that and maybe give context to what you see the situation being, and if there are similarities or there are no similarities and you guys are polar opposites.
I think what we must first acknowledge is that the debate on who is the best has been closed. From the march, from our programs, everything is closed. You can no longer compare me to I'm way ahead of him.
Did you hear that, guys?
On who is the best.
He says that he's way ahead of Julius Malema. He says that is not even a conversation that we are having right now. Me, as Colin Malachi, the current president of the ANC Youth League, I have surpassed Julius Malema. So I don't know why people are still talking about Julius Malema, because there is no comparison between me and him. I am way bigger than him. I have done a lot for the ANC Youth League than Julius Malema. I have surpassed him. This is what he says, and I find this to be very crazy, man. I find this to be very insane.
I think what we must first acknowledge is that the debate on who is the best has been closed. From the march, from our programs, everything is closed. You can no longer compare me to I'm way ahead of him.
Within the ANC context, ANC Youth League context
in society, because in the beginning we compared because of our style of leadership and how we speak and articulate issues. Or from the same school of thought. You can't separate us on the issue of articulation and posture.
Yeah.
He's a former president of COSAS, I'm a former president of COSAS. We both grew up. Both of us never hijacked this thing when we were old and we brought in. Come in there, there's an ANC.
Yeah.
If you join the youth league, you'll get a job or you'll get a tender. No. We were groomed from childhood into structures of the movement. And we're likely to have similarities. Even if I try my level best not to be like him, if he tries the level best, you can't separate the two.
Yeah.
I'm saying, check all the people that grew up organic structures. You can check Mbalula, check. There's a bit of similarities on the style of leadership.
Yeah, I can say that you are similar to Fikile Mbalula. You see, when it comes to Fikile Mbalula, that one, I'm not gonna lie. you are exactly like him. You are exactly like him. So I guess, again, the other question that I would actually have is that if Colin Malachi leaves the ANC and decides that my time at the ANC is done, I am no longer going to be the member of the ANC, do you think that the ANC can still pursue Colin Malachi to come back? Because right now, this is what the ANC is doing. You know what the leadership of the ANC does. Every time when they are out, they always say that, Julius Malema, man, please close that EFF of yours. We know that you were angry at the ANC, but please close that EFF of yours and come back to the ANC. So do you think if Colin Malachi were to leave the ANC would actually behave how they are behaving towards Julius Malema? Because I think that actually will show the kind of impact that one has actually had within the movement. So if Colin Malachi says that, okay guys, I don't want to be the member of the ANC anymore, I am going to open my own political party, or I am going to join a certain political party, do you think the ANC would actually say, Colin Malachi, please come back? Please come back. I remember a couple of days ago, I was having a conversation with my friend and I said, man, do you know if Julius Malema can go back to the ANC? Like, let's just say Julius Malema goes back to the ANC. I think the ANC actually has a chance of winning the elections with the majority again. Because right now, when you look at the leaders inside the ANC, I don't think there's a single leader in the ANC that is more popular than Cyril Ramaphosa, and Ramaphosa failed to win the elections with the majority. So I think if Julius Malema could be the president of the ANC, I'm telling you, if the ANC can put all of those resources behind Julius Malema and run with Julius Malema can easily win the elections with the majority. I know it is a crazy scenario. It is never gonna happen, but like, that's what I think. That's what I think, and I could totally be wrong. Do you guys think that I'm wrong? Do you guys think that I'm wrong? If Julius Malema goes back to the ANC can win the elections with the majority again. And I think this is the only way Julius Malema can become the president of the country, because with the EFF, it has been proven the EFF is not going to win the elections anytime soon. That party is not going to win the elections anytime soon, because right now it is heavily unpopular in the country. The EFF, it is not a popular political party right now in the country. It is heavily unpopular. Even young people are saying, we thought this is a political party that was going to represent us, but looking at how everything has been done by these people, listening to the rhetoric of these people, looking at the actions of the leaders of the EFF on social media, how they conduct themselves, nothing is actually attractive about the EFF. You remember a couple of days ago, Floyd Shivambu said that none of the MK members must actually be on social media insulting people. I think Floyd Shivambu, one of the reasons why he said that is because he could look at the behavior of the EFF supporters and how they conducted themselves, and he doesn't want the supporters of MK to do the same thing. This is what Floyd Shivambu, this is why he went out to say that, guys, if you want to engage with people politically, you can engage with them politically, you can debate with them politically, but we don't want the members of the MK to be insulting people. We want them to actually have intellectual debates with other people. We want them to actually have intellectual debates with other people politically, because this is not what the EFF supporters are doing. And I think this is again one thing that we've spoken about for the longest time, that maybe the leadership of the EFF needed to rein in their supporters to say that, guys, if you insult people, you are actually making the movement look bad, because people are saying, okay, you cannot even interact with these people politically, you cannot even debate with these people politically, because if you dare to try to debate with these people politically, then they are going to insult you. No one is going to say, okay, you are wrong and this is why I think you are wrong. So back to the point that I was saying, I don't think if Colin Malachi leaves the ANC, the leadership of the ANC is going to call him back. I honestly don't think so.
From childhood into structures of the movement, and were likely to have similarities. Even if I try my level best not to be like him, if he tries level best, you can't separate the two.
Yeah.
I'm saying, check all the people that grew up organic structures. You can check Balula. Check. There's a bit of similarities on the style of leadership. It's a training issue. You know, that's why they'll say others must go to Cuba to be trained, others to be trained ideologically. But on the issue of who led the best structure, look, Tina, in 1 year, we're able to bring back the youth league into the map. We're able to organize one of the. There's never been a match bigger than what we've organized of the youth league in the history of the youth league. We're able to fill in stadiums of anniversaries. We're able to have engagements with stakeholders. You know.
And I think this is where the debate is going to come, because if you look, okay, let's say we are comparing these people. As much as I believe normal people are not comparing these people in their everyday lives. But if we look at the issues that are affecting young people, who is a leader between these two guys who actually fought for young people? Because this has always been my problem, especially with the ANC Youth League. The ANC Youth League says that, we are a structure that represents young people in this country. We want the young people to actually have jobs. We want young people to be prioritized. But if you look at the ANC Youth League is a structure that is always fighting the politically. Like, they hardly even talk about the issues that are facing young people. It is then when they are talking about the issues that are facing young people. I mean, last time, Colin Malachi did a march, and they went to the JSC, and when they go to the JSC, they started speaking about how they should get the positions on top. It was no longer about young people, it was about them getting the positions on top. This is why I say, who is a leader that actually prioritized young people when we talk about the ANC Youth League?
But on the issue of who led the best structure, look, Tina, in 1 year, we're able to bring back the youth league into the map. We're able to organize one of the. There's never been a match bigger than what we've organized of the youth league in the history of the youth league. We're able to fill in stadiums of anniversaries. We're able to have engagements with stakeholders. You know, for the first time in history, we had SAFA in the
Yeah.
Tool House.
Yeah.
We call it the SAFA leadership in the Tool House to account on football in South Africa. We call the Rugby Union to come and account on the rugby. It's us who've been doing all of those things. We're speaking and practicalizing them. We call controllers and all the kings. It has never happened. It is our youth league that brings all stakeholders, kings, chief. We are now going to call religious leaders. I'm saying the style now, it's more practical. We're not a youth league that speaks and there's no action.
Meaning that the style of Julius Malema was not practical.
I'm saying the style now, it's more practical. We're not a youth league that speaks and there's no action. When we say something, we do it tomorrow. We say something, we do it tomorrow. We follow up. We've got a team that sits and say, we have left this and this and this, let's do it tomorrow. Now, we're a youth league that people can still reinvest back in and support because we're a youth league that will bring change in this country.
So this is what the current president of the ANC Youth League said, basically saying that, no, I am better than Julius Malema, and that debate is closed. And that debate is closed. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Do you think the current president of the ANC Youth League is much better than the previous president of the ANC Youth League, Julius Malema? I mean, even in terms of the standards, because normally when people talk about the ANC Youth League, they will tell you about all the people that have led the Youth League before until now, and they will say, okay, this is how, this is actually shows you how much the ANC Youth League has actually fallen. This shows you how much the ANC Youth League has actually fallen. I mean, even if you think about Fikile Mbalula, you know, when people talk about the Secretary General of the ANC, they will always remind you of the people who have been the Secretary Generals of the ANC before, and they will remind you of Fikile Mbalula and say, guys, this is a graph. It actually shows you that the Secretary General of the ANC, the quality of the Secretary General of the ANC, it has actually went down if you compare it to the people that have been in that office before. So guys, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? This is just political entertainment. This is political banter. I don't want people coming here with their emotions. Please don't come here with your emotions, man. We have a lot of issues that are stressing us in the country. So today I am going to try to do the videos about things that are not important in our lives, things that are not impacting our lives, not whatsoever. So guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.